Defence Secretary Liam Fox has asked his department's permanent secretary to investigate allegations around his professional relationship with a close friend. Adam Werritty has given out business cards bearing a portcullis insignia, describing himself as an advisor to Dr. Fox. He is not employed by the MOD, but has visited the minister's office there 14 times in the last 16 months, as well as appearing alongside him on trips abroad. Carl Dinnan reports.
Adam Werritty was not at home this afternoon. I'm looking for Adam Werritty, please. Hello? Perhaps he was recycling old business cards. Adam Werritty was best man to Defence Secretary Liam Fox, their old flatmates. This week it emerged that Mr Werritty is a very regular visitor to Dr Fox at the MOD. But he has also been using a business card, falsely describing himself as an advisor to Dr Fox. An MOD source suggested that the use of that business card might have been poor judgment on Mr Werritty's part, but it has renewed the focus on whether or not his business interests had anything to do with his old friend Dr Fox, particularly the health consultancy he set up when Dr Fox was Shadow Health Secretary, or the global risk assessment company he was involved in after Dr Fox became Shadow Defence Secretary. Liam Fox didn't want to talk about any of this at the Conservative Party conference earlier this week.
How come Mr Werritty's...
But today he said he'd asked Mr Werritty to stop using the business cards. And Dr Fox told ITV News he'd asked his top civil servant to investigate accusations that there'd been a risk to national security.
When accusations get made, the appropriate thing is to investigate them properly, and I've asked the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Defence to look into whether there has been any breach of security. I'm absolutely sure there has not been, and whether there's been any breaching of the ministerial code. I'm very happy for the Permanent Secretary to look into that, because I believe these allegations are baseless.
Dr Fox has also said Adam Werritty doesn't go on official trips with him, but they have certainly travelled together. In 2007 at this meeting in Dubai's Gulf Research Centre. 2 years later at a conference in Israel, where we've learned Werritty was once again described as Dr Fox's advisor. Conservative Central Office say he never worked for them. In the same year, the pair were photographed meeting a Sri Lankan MP. 3 months ago in Dubai again, Adam Werritty reportedly brokered a private business meeting for Dr Fox. A month later, Sri Lanka again. And this time Dr Fox was on an official visit. The MOD says Werritty was not part of the official delegation, but in this Foreign Office photo he can be seen following the Defence Secretary apparently chatting to one of his officials.
Well, this saga gets more bizarre, and I think as Liam Fox tries to answer some of the questions, he raises actually more. I think it's right that the Permanent Secretary should be looking into these affairs, but the question that also needs to be asked is whether or not she's already warned him about his conduct.
This evening it was reported that the MOD's Permanent Secretary had already warned Dr Fox about his closeness to Adam Werritty. There's no suggestion Mr Werritty's companies made any money out of the relationship. Indeed, not many of them seem to have made much money. But tonight many questions have been left swirling around the Ministry of Defence.
බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය ආරක්ෂක ඇමති ජනපති හමු වෙයි. ජනාධිපති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා සහ බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍ය ලියම් ෆොක්ස් මහතා අතර හමුව ලන්ඩනයේදී ඊයේ සවස පැවැත්වින. බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය රජයෙන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ලැබෙන සංවර්ධන ආධාර සහ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ බලය බෙදීමේ ක්‍රියාවලිය සම්බන්ධයෙන් මෙහිදී දීර්ඝ වශයෙන් සාකච්ඡා කෙරින. ජනාධිපතිතුමා මෙහිදී පෙන්වා දුන්නේ බලය බෙදීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියේදී පළාත් පාලන ආයතන තවදුරටත් ශක්තිමත් කිරීමේ අවශ්‍යතාව තම රජය හඳුනාගෙන ඇති බවයි. බිම්මට්ටමෙන් සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවට වඩාත් සක්‍රිය ලෙස දේශපාලන සහ පරිපාලන ක්‍රියාවලියට සම්බන්ධ වීමට පුළුල් ඉඩ ප්‍රස්ථා ලබා දීමට රජය කටයුතු කරගෙන යන බවද ජනාධිපතිතුමා පෙන්වා දුන්නේය. ඉදිරියේදී එක්ව ක්‍රියා කිරීමට කැමති දෙමළ දේශපාලන පක්ෂ සමගද රජය සාකච්ඡා ආරම්භ කර තිබේ. බලෙන් පටවන විසඳුම්වලට වඩා ජනතා අදහස් ලබාගෙන ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන යෝජනා වඩා ප්‍රතිඵලදායක බවද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා සඳහන් කළේය. උතුරේ සංවර්ධනයට මෙන්ම සෙසු සංවර්ධන කටයුතු සඳහා බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය රජයෙන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ඉදිරියේදී ලැබෙන ආධාර සම්බන්ධයෙන් බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යවරයා මෙහිදී කරුණු පැහැදිලි කළේය. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ආයෝජන අවස්ථා පිළිබඳවද බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යවරයාගේ අවධානය යොමු විය.
Defence Secretary Jim Murphy, and I asked him what he wants to be investigated.
Well, the Secretary of State should be focusing on Afghanistan rather than this self-created controversy. And we want some specific answers to direct questions about just why did one individual who's not on the payroll of the Ministry of Defence or the House of Commons have such a close working relationship inside the Ministry of Defence, handing out business cards with claiming to have been advisor to the Secretary of State, travelling abroad at the same time to Sri Lanka and attending events that the Secretary of State was at in meetings, and also be such a regular attender in some of the meetings in the Ministry of Defence. And there's a pattern of behaviour here which is puzzling, and I think we need to get to the bottom of it.
But what is your fear? I mean, what is wrong with a minister having an outside advisor or a friend giving him some advice?
Well, it's important that ministers have friends. It helps to keep politicians human. But the fact is that there have been a series of accusations, each of which in turn was denied, each in which in turn the denial itself has had to be denied. And we've got to a ridiculous point today where the Secretary of State has had to launch an investigation into his own behaviour.
If this is just a question of an outside advisor who accompanies the minister on a trip, but pays for himself, isn't at the taxpayer's purse, there would be nothing wrong with that in itself, would there?
Well, the truth is, none of us actually know. There's been a series of questions over recent weeks, which there's been a degree of obfuscation, and the questions have piled up one on one to now that there's a series of unanswered allegations and questions.
So you want to know whether
Adam
Werritty was actually profiting from this relationship? Is that the key here?
I think what we need to know is the answers to these questions. Rather than the Secretary of State launching an inquiry into himself, why doesn't he just give the specific answers to the direct questions?
OK, what are the direct questions?
What was the business relationship between this individual, who was his ex-flatmate, and his best man at his wedding? What was the business relationship between the two? Did Liam Fox know that this man was travelling the world, claiming to be an advisor, a professional and personal advisor perhaps, to Liam Fox's Secretary of State? Did this man gain in his business consultancy as a consequence of that professional relationship? There are literally dozens of questions that need answers, and the Secretary of State, for an inexplicable reason, seems unwilling to respond to them, and instead today has gone to the bizarre measure of launching an official inquiry into his own behaviour, and a power that he actually doesn't have.
Do you think he needs to consider his position?
I don't think so yet. I think what he has to do is consider giving specific answers to these direct questions, and only then will we really know how difficult this is, how murky it is, and what the truth of the matter is.
Well, we did ask the Defence Secretary, Liam Fox, to give an interview to this programme, originally about the 10th anniversary of the Afghanistan invasion. But he wasn't available on that or the subject of Mr. Werritty.